Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are all having a wonderful day or week. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about project management tools needed for interior design business. I have gone to countless interior design events and seminars that I decided, you know what, let me just break down and create this starter video for you guys. So what I'm going to basically cover are softwares needed for project management and review some internal file folder organization that I have implemented in my practice. So without further ado, let's get started. First off, we're going to talk about procurement softwares. You're going to need some sort of a software that allows you to create invoices to send to clients, to track your expenses, your profit and loss, and these are super essential to have like accounting needs. I have gathered 9 options for you to review, and I'm going to briefly cover them because there's a lot. I have jotted down my notes on my phone to kind of look up because they all have very different features. We're going to start off with Studio Designer and Mydoma. These used to be 2 separate softwares that have now combined into one. This starts off at $64 a month. They do not have free trials that I know of, but they do have demos to help you kind of navigate and learn more about the program. From what I've heard and done my research on this software is it's gotten a lot of positive feedback, but some designers had said that it might be too complex for a one-person show. They do offer some design tools, project management tools. You can create proposals, you can source from there, and it has a client portal. Are allowed to do some time tracking and billing, accept online payments, and it also integrates with accounting and create reports, which is nice. Moving on to HoneyBook. This one starts at $19 a month and it has a 7-day free trial. From what I've gathered, my research on this software is a lot of designers have said that it's really great for leads and client follow-up, but it's not really meant for purchasing or procurement. It does offer a lot of great features, which I'm going to say that they offer scheduling. You can send contracts and has automations, which are a lifesaver. It also integrates with QuickBooks, Google Chrome, Gmail. It can send forms and questionnaires. A lot of designers had said that it's great and they use it for contracts and automations and scheduling and forms, because that's like a good chunk of our time in the interior design world. I know that I find myself a lot of times is making these questionnaires and following up with clients to schedule calls or consultations. So I'm actually kind of interested in looking into HoneyBook, because again, it could take a lot of time off your hands to just have some sort of a machine that boom, 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 creates all these schedules and you not lifting a finger and you can focus on other things. Moving on to design files. So this one just has 2 pricing options. It's $49 a month for e-designers. So if you're an e-designer, I think that might be best for you. Or $69 a month for full service designers, which is something that I do. They do have a demo and you can try it for free. I don't know for how long. But for this software, I've heard a lot of great things about it. Designers have said that they continue to upgrade their software and they listen to the designers on their needs, which is great. They have great customer service as well, which is a very good plus. And it's user-friendly, so it's not so complicated to learn. They do offer design tools for mood board. You can create floor plan and 3D renderings. You can also create questionnaires, have invoicing, and it integrates with QuickBooks, which is nice. The other thing is this one is mobile friendly, but it does not have an app. So it might be really easy for you to just access it on your phone while you're on the go. Moving on to Programma, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This one starts off at $59 a month and they do have a 7-day free trial. From what I have heard on this software, it is new, and I do have a friend that just recently started using this software. She mentioned that they could have better project management tools and the invoicing is not as great as others, but it's more it is more aesthetically pleasing. It has gotten great feedback from other designers, and the other great thing is they have a client dashboard. I have personally seen this demo live at a design event, and I thought it was a game changer. Moving on now to Design Manager. This one just has a one price of $79 a month, and it has a 30-day free trial. They do offer project management tools. You can do purchasing, accounting, time billing, online payments, and they have free support, which is nice because I think some other softwares, they don't offer that type of support, or you have to pay extra. They do have an iPhone app, which is nice, but I'm not sure about any accounting integrations like with QuickBooks, and then does not have any automations. Moving on to Ivy by House. I'm going to say roughly it starts off at $55 a month, but when you go on the website, you can click and pick what best aligns with your business practices, and it generates your own custom pricing. I have heard that not a lot of designers are using it. They used to use Ivy a lot in the past from what I heard, but people are shifting to other softwares. You can create proposals, invoices. They do have some design tools. It allows you to do time tracking, online payments. It can generate reports, sourcing. You can source items. It does not have automations. And this one also has a mobile app, which is nice, and it does sync with QuickBooks, which, speaking of QuickBooks, that is another accounting or project management software, but this one is just purely accounting tools. It keeps track of your incomes, your expenses. It generates reports. You can create invoices. It has bill management. It literally has no design tools. It has no scheduling, no automations. This is purely accounting. That is what I have. I do have an accountant that handles that, and it does have a mobile app, which is nice, so you can snag pictures of receipts on the go, which is a feature that I'm always using. Moving on to Dubsado, I hope I'm saying that right. This one starts off at $20 a month. They do have a free trial with no time limit. I tried to see what was the time limit, but the people on the website said there's no time limit, so I'm not sure what that means. They do have a bunch of forms that you can use and templates to use for contracts and questionnaires. It allows you to create invoices. It does have automations, and it also features client portals. It has a scheduler, which is nice, and it integrates with Stripe. I'm not too familiar with Stripe, but I feel like it's an accounting software. It does have a mobile app, which is nice, and a lot of designers actually use this and have found it very useful. And the last but not least is Xero. Again, my pronunciation. This one starts off at $20 a month, and it's mostly used for accounting. So similar to QuickBooks, you can pay bills, you can claim expenses, accept payments, keep track of bank transactions. It has no design features like QuickBooks and no automations. From what I've heard, it's great for just one person, like a one-person team, and it's super easy to use. Essentially, all these softwares are similar but different. Some of them may have an app to use, some of them may not. Some of them offer design tools, some of them don't. Everyone in this industry does everything so different, so don't feel like there's a right or wrong answer for choosing a software. It all depends on what you're looking for and how your business is structured. Personally, for me, I don't need a software that offers design tools because I already have my set of design tools that I need, so I just need something that's gonna allow me to do more project management. I might look into Honeybook or Programma, maybe Dubsado. So now we are going to move over to cloud-based softwares. You're going to need a software that allows you to have easy access on the go through your phone, because when you are at site visits or talking to clients, I guarantee you're going to need to look through for that one file or that one design, and if you have everything on your laptop, you're not always going to be carrying your laptop, so you need to access things through your phone. We have Dropbox, Google Drive, we have OneDrive, which is paired with the 365 Microsoft plan, and there's pCloud, which has annual and lifetime options. I personally use Google Drive. I've used it for years and years, ever since I worked at a residential firm. I got used to it, so I just decided to integrate that into my business. I have had no issues no problem whatsoever. And yeah, it's just super easy to use for me. Now let's review internal folder structures, and I'm going to show you how I personally have organized my files that I have got inspiration from other designers and tweaked it to make my own. This has helped me become super organized and intentional about my files and where I save things, so hopefully you gain something from reviewing the way that I have my files. The way that I organize my folders is the way that my process is from beginning to end. And as you can see, I have things numbered based on how I go about my processes. Number one is the inquiry process, because every lead starts with them sending over filling out the online form. In the inquiry process, we have the discovery call folder and the consultation. The discovery call is a 20-minute complimentary call that we have with the client, and in this folder I have some questions that I always like to refer to and fill out as I go, and then I have a project management assessment tool. This is internal for me to check to see if this project aligns with my goals, and I like to have that in there. Any notes from the consultation call, I like to keep it in there as well. Once we move on to the consultation, this is an in-person consultation. In this folder is where I like to, again, put notes from the consultation, and I have, this template to go by, and I also have this consultation guide that I send to my clients. I send them an email the day before their consultation and to remind them and what to expect. So I've created this guide that I like to have it on the folder for easy access. After the consultation, I prepare the design agreement / contract / proposal. I use InDesign to create the contract, so I have a template folder here, and these are just folders or internal folders where I save images that are linked to the proposal document. And then in here I have my pricing calculator. After they, sign the contract and we're all good, is the client onboarding phase. So in this is where I keep my questionnaire, and I also created a welcome guide to send them once they're fully on board. It's kind of a nice touch to send to clients to, it makes you sound more professional. After the onboarding is when we start the fun part, which is the design development phase. So all these things happen during the design development phase, is the measurements and planning. I have a kickoff meeting that I schedule with my clients, so in here I save any notes from there, and in that kickoff meeting as well is where I take measurements and photos. So in here is where I'll save measurements, before photos and after photos. And then after that is the schematic design, which is creating the mood board and sourcing finding a bunch of inspiration images to help narrow down their aesthetic and what they're looking for. And then we move on to the design development phase, and all these things happen in my process, which is where I keep track of their budget, and I've created a Google Excel sheet. I keep the design presentation in here, so I have the document and design is what I use. Any elevations and floor plans that I export from SketchUp, I'll save here. Any quotes that I've received during this phase I'll save them here. Renderings, from creating the 3D renderings, and the SketchUp files. So all this happens during the design development phase, and I like to have it all in this folder. And this is just a feedback guide that I send to my clients after the presentation. This is more of how to request revisions. So let's go back again. Seems like a lot of folders within folders, but this has helped me become super organized. And in the project management folder is where all these things happen during this phase. Is once we move on from the design phase is when we move to the procurement, which is ordering all the materials and selections. So I like to keep track of all the receipts and any finalized quotes in here. And then after that is the construction documentation. So the construction drawings for the GC, I like to keep it there. And I also have a specification folder for the GC. I can share it with them, share this folder, and they'll have access to it. Construction admin is more of like, once I go on to site visits, I'll save any notes on here or anything else. Install packet, this is more for furnishing projects. I have an internal packing list guide for myself. And then I have a guide to send to my clients on what to expect on install days. So in here, this is just like a checklist of what to bring because you never know what you're gonna need. Punch list, this is kind of like the final step during the construction. So any notes from the punch list, I'll save them there. And then the last but not least is the client offboarding. So in here, I have a form to send them so they can fill out so I can get their final feedback internally on what they thought the project went. And then I have an internal reflection survey for myself to fill out so I can remind myself like what went good, what went bad for this project. And then I have a closing guide to send to the clients. In this accounting folder is where I'll keep like any credit card authorization forms, any invoices that I send to my client for the selections, my invoices for my design fees, I'll keep them in there. Archive is just for like any old documents that no longer needed but useful just in case. And then I have a shared client folder. So that's pretty much my internal folder structure. I know it may be a lot of folders within folders, but this has really helped me kind of remember like the structure and organization and the steps I have to follow for my business. I know this was a lot of information for you guys, so I made a template / informative guide for you to download. It's more like a cheat sheet. I have it listed on my website, and I have the link in the description box below. But that is it. I hope you guys gained something from this video or found it useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to keep seeing videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.